After sadly leaving behind our year-long backpacking trip across the Americas due to the 2020 pandemic, we spent close to 4 months in Portugal. Some of that time was spent indoors due to the lockdown, but as soon as the restrictions were lifted, we decided to hire a campervan to get to know some of the less visited parts of the country. I must say, I am now sold on the idea of getting a campervan ASAP, as the experience was awesome. I started my journey in Alentejo, a part of the country that is usually described as the heartland of Portugal. The plains that extend as far as the eye can see are dotted with cork oaks and olive trees, and here and there you'll find medieval walled towns, castles and palaces, perfectly preserved, as well as beautiful beaches to the west. Our first stop was Elvas, a perfectly preserved city right on the border with Spain. Elvas was once of great strategic importance, and as such the town has many fortifications which you can still visit nowadays, such as the star-shaped fortification of Fort Santa Lucia. From Elvas we kept driving north and visited other historic towns such as the beautiful Castelo de Vide, one of the gems of the Alto Alentejo region. The old medieval quarter of the city is beautifully preserved, and visiting it feels like traveling back in time. But this trip was also about being immersed in nature, and as such we visited many parks, forests, rivers and mountains, such as the Portas de Rodão Natural Monument. From here, we drove to the quirky little town of Monsanto, where the houses are sandwiched between massive boulders. Monsanto hangs off a mountaintop overlooking the impressive Portuguese countryside. The town is also crowned by the remains of a Templar castle, which was partially destroyed by an explosion in the 19th century. The village has hardly changed in hundreds of years and enjoys distinction in Portugal as a living museum. Another pleasant surprise was the Serra da Estrela region, which is where the tallest mountain in continental Portugal is located. Here, there are plenty of opportunities for you to fully immerse yourself in nature, such as many hiking trails, waterfalls and natural swimming pools. From Serra da Estrela we drove to the northern part of Portugal, where we spent a couple of days exploring the Peneda Gerês Natural Park and then started our slow descent back home along the coast. I'm sure I'll be on a plane to a far-flung place sooner or later, but for now I'll be focusing on traveling locally and on other projects such as my blog and travel photography work, both linked in the description below. 3 minutes went by, see you next time.